producing branch managers, producing branch leaders is the most important job. It's also one of the most difficult jobs, but it can also be one of the most financially rewarding jobs if you can do it well. But you're juggling a lot of balls, and what ends up happening is that I think it'd be, I don't want to say easy, but I think most of us could identify the key pillars that are important to our business. But the challenge, I think, is that there's one of them that probably tends to dominate your time once you get into the thick of it. And for, unfortunately, many branch managers, it's personal production. And what ends up happening is the other pillars that you say are important to you, like coaching up your loan officers, like recruiting, like managing the profitability of your branch, they kind of get pushed to the side because this one is so all consuming. And at the end of the day, this is why it's such a challenging job, is because you know that you can go get another loan and pay your mortgage, right? But you don't know if that recruiting call is going to pay off anytime soon. You don't know if coaching up that one loan officer is going to pay dividends for a long time. Are they going to stay with you? Are they going to quit? Are they even going to be able to take the things that you coach them on and grow their business? So what I'm sure we'll get into this, but my first thought is, okay, I love this. How do we stay on track with something like that as we move forward?
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, and so that's where, so step one is, clarity, right? Our key business vertical. Step two, we're going to talk about vision, strategy, execution. Step three is scale. So to that question, that's where we talk about scale, or another way to put it is agility. So let's talk about that for a second, because this is the conversation point, right? So again, we're building a house, right? So these are the verticals we're talking about. Now, scale and agility, if you will, that's horizontal. That's your ability to then dive into each one of these verticals. And then we're asking the question of, okay, now this is I'm going to say something, think about it literally and also thinking about it figuratively, meaning, okay, who's the leader, who's the manager, and who's the doer? So as a branch leader, now, maybe all of this falls on your plate, but maybe it doesn't. And as a leader, my quick definition is, as a leader, your job is to pull, right? And you're pulling with vision, you're pulling with oversight. You might only be 10, 20, 30% into that specific vertical. You might have someone who can then manage it. Now, a manager is someone who pushes, right? They're pushing process. They're pushing the strategy. And the doer, there's our front lines, right? A great example is like operations management. Maybe there's a leader there, right? We're overseeing operations, credit risk, and so on. And then we have an operations manager or a processing manager. Okay, they're pushing the process, they're pushing strategy. And then we have our frontline processors, underwriters, and so on, just to give perspective. Now, it's not always that easy, right? Sometimes it's all on us. So that's why I want that perspective of, are you leading this right now? Okay, you're leading growth. And then do you have other aspects of people or processes or departments, or do you need to outsource, or whatever the case is, to help kind of manage it and do it, or whatever that case is. So not to get too much into the weeds, I just want to give you the perspective that scalability, agility is about the horizontal part of that, being able to dive into each one of your pillars.
Yeah, no, and that makes a lot of sense. It's funny when you mention the manager kind of pushing, the leader pulling, it reminds me of a meme that I've seen. I'm sure people have seen this, right? Where you got like this, these people pulling this chariot with a manager on it, cracking the whip, but then you got this leader, and it's a true leader is up front helping to pull with the people doing the work. Like you're, versus the leader, like, or the manager, like telling people to go. But you make a really good point, and I think this is the point that you're making. Both of those things are actually important. Like, you can't just be a leader and a visionary and say, hey, follow me, and then go, and then realize that there's people behind you that need help, they need support, they need, they need some pushing sometimes and some accountability. So anyway, that just reminded me of that. And it's a really good point, is that so many people are like, I'm an inspirational leader, and that's kind of like the value that I bring. Well, you can't just be a one-trick pony when it comes to leadership, because people need support as well. People need guidance, and they even need counsel sometimes, and there is some management required. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no, 100%. And let's take that back to like, not everybody has all these resources at their disposal, or maybe they don't realize that they do, right? So it might fall like, hey, I'm a solopreneur now, right? I'm CEO, CFO, I'm the receptionist, I'm the janitor, I'm right. So I got to wear all the hats. Now I do outsource some of this, right? But my point is, I get it. A lot of this falls on our on our plate. So I just want the perspective of, hey, right now I have to lead. To your point, I got to be out front. Hey, team, this is our vision. This is where we're going.